everyone, and welcome once again to the Deiser Connection. How you doing? I hope you're doing really great. We're reaching the end of the year right now. We're merely weeks away from the last days of the year, entering 2024. We have several things that are happening in 2024. For example, the end of server. This is the thing that we've been waiting for so long. I don't know if we were waiting for it, but actually we're gonna reach that time in February, the 15th of February. Server will no longer be something that Atlassian will support, or neither of us. We won't support it. We won't support server anymore, and we're looking forward to that day to see what happens. Maybe everything will explode, we don't know, but let's see what happens. I don't think that everything will explode, but everything will carry on as it was, but server won't be there. And today I wanted to bring you something, that you might not know about, and if you don't know about, you're gonna know today. And if you knew of it already, it's a good thing to be reminded of. As you know, I'm part of. As you might know, I'm part of something. As you might already know, I'm part of the Atlassian Creators plan of the program. As you might already know, I'm part of the Atlassian Creators program, and there's many people in that program. And I'm gonna share just a little bit of who else is part of this program. There's many people right now in that program, but right now I'm going to share a little bit of who also is there and the knowledge that they might bring to the table, because I believe that these people are really knowledgeable and they have a lot of knowledge that they share every day for you in order to have all the information about what's going on with Atlassian, okay? So this is the Jira Live. The Jira Live is a podcast that is brought to you by the minds of Ape Tech Tutorials, Alex Ortiz, and the Jira guy himself, he's Rodney Nissen. Or Nissen. I really don't know how to pronounce the last name, but I hope it's okay. Nissen. You just let me know, Rodney, if I'm pronouncing it correctly or not. The Jira doctor and the Jira guy, they came together in order to create the Jira Live. The Jira Live is an hour-long podcast, it's a weekly podcast in which they talk about different news about Atlassian. They have guests and they talk about what they think about these new Atlassian announcements, the new features and so on. Last week I was invited, in order to be part of the Jira Live podcast. We ended up talking about Atlassian. We ended up talking about Go Mood, about Go Mood, right? We ended up talking about a lot of our apps, Deiser apps, but mostly about Atlassian, and it was really cool. So I encourage you and I suggest you go and check that out, because the Jira Amigos, which are the viewers that are watching that stream at that moment, they enter the chat and they suggest questions, and they comment on what the guys are saying. And it was a really fun and a really cool moment that I spent there. It was an hour or so, and it was really cool. And thank you very much, guys, again, because it was a really nice, for me it was nighttime, it was already 11 at night here, but for you it was during the day, and we had a lot of fun. Okay, it was, we had some good laughs, and we talked about stuff that is happening in Atlassian, and it was great. It was nice. There's many other episodes, so go ahead and check them out, and if you have questions about that, go ahead and ask them. Ask me if you want, and check those out, okay? Also, there's something that they were talking about during the recording of this show, and they were talking about something that they're participating on, and it caught my attention, and I wanted to show it to you too, because I've watched several episodes of those, and it's really cool because it mixes the knowledge and fun, about sharing that knowledge. This podcast, this how would you call this contest? Is called the Ace Quiz Wiz, for Atlassian community. This is a contest that is brought to you by Said Nair, a community leader, and he realized that it could be fun also to share the knowledge with Quiz Wiz and so on. You can see different episodes. You can see Alex Ortiz participating here in this episode. You can see several community leaders participating in this Quiz Wiz. You can also see Rodney right there, and several others. And it's really fun. I've been watching several of these videos, and you can see that these people are really knowledgeable, and let's find out who's the next winner. The last season winner was King Bob, so congratulations on that, and let's hope you can keep it up, and let's hope that you maintain that title. So this is what we wanted to share with you right now, so let's go to the main page. Okay, and as we mentioned before in other episodes, we wanted to give you a little bit of information about, maybe you don't know how Jira is set up, or maybe you don't know how it goes from project to issues to or maybe you don't know how it goes from projects to epics to tasks to issues, etc., etc. So in this video, I wanted to go really fast into showing you what's a Jira project. Before, let me show you, and let's not get ahead of myself. I'm not trying to get. Okay, let me show you Let me show you what I was talking about. Okay, so right here we have project track and we have the several projects, with their names. But imagine that we go into a project, we are talking about simple software projects, okay? Right now, let's carry on where we left off in the other episode. I believe that it was 3 episodes back, in which we started showing you project basics. In that video, we entered the project settings and we made sure that we knew everything that was going on in that project, in the project settings, how the project was configured, okay? Today, we're gonna deep dive a little bit more. We're not gonna go really deep into it, but we're gonna dive into the Jira issues. For example, the Jira issues, those are tickets in the project. The Jira issues have different levels. If we go to the list of issues right here, and we try to filter through those types of issues, we'll see that at least in this instance, we have 4 different type of issues. For example, we say that a Jira project is divided in different levels. First of all is the project level, in which project track will help you, how to track those projects, and that type of information. Then we have the epics, where you define what you need, for example, for a software that you're creating, for a software that you are developing. Then we have the stories, it goes a little bit deeper into what is your need. Then we have the tasks, and then we have different bugs that can appear in that project. Then later on, and a little bit deeper into another level, there's the subtasks, poor subtasks right there. They're really good, and they're really good. Subtasks are really helpful in order to I use it, and I know that many people use it as checks. Subtasks are really useful in order to follow up on your daily tasks. Maybe you have a task that you need to create, or you need to develop something, and the subtasks are useful in order to break down what you need to do in those tasks, okay? I don't use them daily, but I know people that use them in order to check those subtasks and say, okay, I'm 50% on my way of completing this task thanks to the completion of the subtasks, okay? So those are mainly the levels that we're looking into right now. And if you go into the issues list of the projects, you'll get this. You'll get all the issues that are in the project. I don't know if you notice, but you can check and you can change the view of this list. You can have the list view, or you can have the detail view. The detail view is really useful because if you go into an issue, it will go into it. It's really useful because if you click in an issue, you will get all the information regarding that issue. For example, you have the assignee right here, you have the reporter, you have the development fields, that will provide other information. You have the labels, the time tracking, etc., etc. And if we change the issue, we can see that there's other kind of information right there, and you will find all the information about these issues. So if we go back to the project, we will be able to see also the components, the releases, and we'll also be able to see those issues in different buckets. You have the timeline, you have the backlog, you will see the backlog view. The backlog will show you how are you doing with the number of your issues. Maybe you have a list of issues and some of the issues are added to your current sprint, but you have those many issues in the backlog, and Jira will allow you to grab the issue, and take it into the active sprint if you have some time, and you can arrange that backlog as you please. It is really useful. Then the active sprint, when you are in the active sprint, you can see the board, this board that is really useful. You can change the status of the issues, like really, really simple, in order to see what the progress of your issues are. These are really, really cool. And then you have the reports of Jira. You have different kinds of reports that will be able to show the progress on your issues. You have the agile reports, you have the issue analysis reports, and you have the forecast and management. This is really simple, this is really cool, but maybe you would like to try different apps, also third-party apps that go a little bit deeper into what information can they provide, like ECBI, like custom charts, etc., etc. And they're really good and awesome, in order to show you that information about the issues. So that's pretty much it. This is simple. I know that it's simple, but maybe someone around there might need to know this, okay? So let's go back to the main page. So this was fast and this was easy. If you need more information about this, do not hesitate to comment, that we will add it in future videos. We're not that far away from the end of the year, but we'll make sure to add them into the next year's episode, because we have planned out a new full season. Is gonna be epic, it's gonna be huge. We're gonna improve. There's a lot of things that we need to improve. You told us, we know about them, so we'll improve them. And do not worry that the Deiser Connection will be there in order to share more information, to have guests, events, etc., etc. So until the next one, I hope you have a really great weekend. Bye bye.